Get comfy.
Hello everyone. I once had a friend whose name was Mrs. Cluckety. If ever she spoke to you, she would say, because Mrs. Cluckety was an old hen. She spent every day of the week sitting down, but she wasn't on strike. She was on eggs. 6 white eggs, which she knew would one day hatch out into 6 fluffy yellow chicks. What Mrs. Cluckety didn't know was that someone else was interested in those eggs, and that someone was Sneaky the Snake. One morning, Mrs. Cluckety left the nest, crossed the farmyard, nodded good morning to Duffy the Draft Horse and Gregory the Bull, pushed her way through some geese, and went to the pond for a drink. This was the opportunity Sneaky wanted. 6 feet of black snakes slithered across the straw. Sneaky peered into the nest.
Ah, wonderful. 6 of them. Delicious. I'll curl up on top of them and have a sleep. And when I wake up, I'll enjoy a good egg dinner.
So the black snake crawled onto the nest and curled up on top of the eggs. Mrs. Cluckety finished her drink at the pond, crossed the farmyard, returned to her nest, and when she looked in, she received an awful fright. Flapping her wings, she ran through the farmyard calling,
Help! Help! Snake! Snake! Oh, someone come quickly! A snake is in my nest in the barn!
Old Duffy the Draft Horse took his nose out of the trough and said to Gregory the Bull,
And who would that be that's causing all the fuss now?
Help! Help! Oh, someone please get the snake off my nest!
It's old Mother Cluckety. She does seem upset.
Oh, Duffy, Gregory, you're just the ones I want. Please save my eggs.
Well, now, if you be calming down and telling us your trouble, perhaps there is something we can be doing about it.
Sneaky the snake is asleep on top of my eggs, and when he wakes up, he's sure to eat them.
Yeah, he's one of the worst egg thieves around, is Sneaky.
Well, you fellows are big and strong. Would you get rid of him and save my eggs for me, please?
Sure, Mrs. Cluckety. You leave the matter to me. Out of the way there, Gregory.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get rid of the snake. I lift up my 2 front hooves and pounding him to death, I be.
Oh, no! Oh, no, you can't do that.
That's why I don't know.
Oh, because you would break the eggs, and that's a stupid thing to do.
Well, is it now? And who are you, an old hen, to be calling me a draft horse stupid? Perhaps you know a better way of making the snake leave. You get him off the nest yourself.
Oh, Gregory, can you help me?
Yeah, of course I can. I shove my horns underneath the snake and I toss him up in the air. That'll get rid of him.
Oh, no! Oh, no, you couldn't do that.
Oh, yes, I could. It's easy. I put my
No,
horns...
no, you silly old bull. You'd break the eggs.
Oh, yeah, well, sorry, you have to get him off the nest yourself.
A tear rolled down Mrs. Cluckety's beak and fell splash on the ground. A small voice cried,
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
and when Mrs. Cluckety looked up, the voice said,
Hey, I'm not up there. I'm down here.
and when Mrs. Cluckety looked down, there was little Willie the Ant.
Stop dropping tears everywhere. You nearly drowned me.
Oh, go away, Willie the Ant. I'm in no mood for jokes. I'm in terrible trouble.
I know, and I've come to help you. You want to get rid of the snake, and I know how to do it. Stand back, Mrs. Cluckety. This is a man's job.
From his waistcoat pocket, Willie produced a small silver whistle, on which he blew the secret call of the ants. And from a hole in the ground, out swarmed the whole army of ants.
Comedy, stand at ease. Attention. Stand at ease. Ants, we have a job to do, and what a job it is. Sneaky the snake is asleep on Mrs. Cluckety's nest, and we have to move him without harming the eggs.
Oh, but Willie, Duffy the horse couldn't help, and Gregory the bull couldn't help. you're only little people. There's not much that you can do.
Mrs. Clackety, we might only be little people, and the bit we each can do only a little bit. But when we finish with old Sneaky the Snake, you'll wonder what struck him.
As Willie and the ants marched across the farmyard, Gregory the bull said to Duffy the draft horse,
Where all the little fellas going?
Perhaps they're thinking they can help old Mother Cluckety get the snake off her nest.
Oh, what can I do? She refused our help when I think we could have managed him.
Oh, to be sure. Yeah, what could such little people do to help her?
No, you mind your own business, now, the two of you. You couldn't get the snake from my nest without breaking my eggs. I have perfect confidence in Willie and the other little ants. You'll see.
When the little ants arrived at the nest and looked up, the nest appeared to them as something gigantic, for they themselves were so tiny. Willie thought to himself,
Boy, this is going to be tough. I never thought it would be such a tough job.
That's what Willie thought. But what he said was,
All right, boys, surround the joint.
and they did. The little ants marched round and around the nest. Willie looked up and said to Mrs. Clackety,
Hey, what's this hanging over the side of the nest?
That? Oh, careful, Willie. That's his tail.
The snake's tail? It's just what I've been looking for. Shh! Quiet, everyone, and listen carefully. I want you all to follow me. Onto the snake's tail and up onto his back. Now move quickly and quietly. We mustn't wake him.
Willie led the way onto the snake's back. Soon he was standing on top of old Sneaky's head. He leaned over and could see the outline of the snake's eyes, nostrils, and mouth. He turned to the little ant beside him and whispered.
I hope he keeps his mouth shut.
When Willie looked behind him, he saw the snake was completely covered with ants. Thousands of tiny creatures waiting for Willie's orders.
We got him just where we want him. Listen, fellas, I'm going to count 3. And when I count 3, I want you all to bite. And bite hard. You ready? 1, get your mouths open. 2, get your tongue out of the road. 3, bite!
And bite they did. Old Sneaky awoke with a shock of pain. Every little ant was biting as hard as he could. Mrs. Cluckety was delighted.
No, that's it, boys. Hold on. He's turning. He's twisting. He's wriggling. He's right off the nest. Hooray! You saved my eggs.
But the little ants didn't let go until they'd chased Sneaky through the farmyard and down into the river. When the ants scrambled back onto dry land, they found Mrs. Cluckety talking to Duffy the draft horse and Gregory the bull.
Well, you didn't think they could do it, did you?
But they're so small. We didn't think
No,
of it.
you never think. Now, if I'd let you or Duffy here try to get rid of the snake, you would have broken the eggs.
Perhaps that's true now. Oh, it must be very happy you're feeling now.
Oh, it is. Oh, now, where's Willie?
Here I am. I don't shift your foot, you'll tread on me.
Oh, Willie. Oh, thank you, Willie. I am most grateful.
Anytime you want help, Mrs. Clackety, you call on us. We might be only little people, and we each do only a little bit, but when we work together, boy, do we shift things.